My name is Ina Peters. Now, during the course of the week, a lot trended in the social media scene, especially in Nigeria. Now, so many stories, and I really wish we could talk about all. But here are just some of, the top stories for us that made the cut. The first one is Governor of Kaduna State, El-Rufai's body bag comment. Now, he went on national TV during an interview, actually at NTA, and he made a comment concerning, foreign interference against the forthcoming elections. Let's check the video out. All right, now, so the video is not available, so we'll take some tweets. At Reno Mockery tweeted, "Did you listen here at El-Rufai's words threatening to..." Okay, at Mr. Ayedi also tweeted, "The condemnation of El-Rufai's body bag statement is indicative of the fact that many Nigerians do not understand the English language, or at the very least pretend not to understand it." Now, this person is clearly in support of the governor's comment. Moving on to another tweet. At Bayo tweeted, "I was beyond shocked watching El-Rufai's body bag video. Why would a governor use such words? We condemned Obasanjo for his do-or-die threat, but this is a new law. What if election observers are killed on account of this threat? El-Rufai must withdraw statement and apologize." Now, this is someone clearly not happy about the situation. If we move on to another. Okay, now we have the video, so let's check the video out.
It cost us a lot of money and lives, and we never got anything for it. We did it out of good neighborliness. Okay, those that are calling for anyone to come and intervene in Nigeria, we are waiting for the person that will come and intervene. They will go back in body bags. Okay. Because nobody will come to Nigeria and tell us how to run our country. We've got that independence, and we are trying to run our country as decently as possible. And we know the history of those countries that are trying to teach us these things. We have read their history. We also know at that on stages of development, they went through these challenges. So please, let's work together. Let's advise one another, but don't lecture us. All right?
Okay, now this definitely has caused a lot of controversy on social media scene, but the governor has not said anything about his statement. He hasn't taken the statement back. Moving on to some exciting news is the ASUU topic. Now, ASUU called off the strike, and a lot of Nigerians were pretty excited about this. Myself, in particular, I was very happy about it. I think I said that during the headlines. But what we did find out on social media is just really... it's different. While people are happy about it, a lot of people are now making jokes about the situation, and we just could not help but notice them. Let's see the first tweet addressing the situation. So at Guardian Nigeria tweeted, "ASUU calls off its 3-month-old nationwide strike, directs its members to return to the classrooms with immediate effect." Now, after this news broke online, here are some of the hilarious comments that we did see. At Janet tweeted, "My cousin complained about the strike, but now he has 3 online courses certificates which he acquired during the strike." Now, this is somebody that definitely put their 3 months to good work. Looking at the next one. At Uche Kush _ tweeted, 8 days to the elections and everything in Lagos seems to be working fine. ASUU calls off strike, tankers on Ikorodu Road, Echo Bridge cleared, potholes on major roads being filled up. Even the light in my area now stays for hours. How long do we continue this facade? Okay, moving on to the next tweet. Nigerian students, be wise. FG got to know that millions of youths won't be able to vote because of ASUU strike and decided to end the strike a week to elections. What money got in for FG that didn't come on in the past 3 months of the strike? They don't care about us. That just reminded me of Michael Jackson's song. Okay, now Life of Uzi47 also tweeted how lecturers will feed students with tests and assignments once classes resume after ASUU strike. Now we see this picture of that child being fed noodles that can actually feed like 7 people at a time. Not fair at all. All right, now moving on to the next tweet. Some reactions at this _ Henry tweeted, "Some reactions from students after the ASUU announcement prove some are not ready to go back to school. Who we offend?" Now you can also see a comment here. Shada, "Is your academic activities that will resume tomorrow?" Replying to ASUU Nigerians. Nigerian youths What is happening? I thought this was a good news. But oh well, here are some of the reactions. But we're definitely excited and happy that the ASUU strike is off. Moving on now, INEC listened. Definitely. We also talked about this during the headlines. Now, a lot of Nigerians had been calling INEC and asking INEC to postpone the number of days remaining for the PVC collection. Now, this is because of the complaints that we've gotten online and, of course, even in the streets that, a lot of people have been finding it difficult to get their PVCs. Now, INEC finally listened. We'll show you some tweets of some respectable persons asking INEC to postpone the collection dates. Now, at Amadi Chima tweeted, "My usually impeccable sources tell me that INEC is concerned about these PVC collection matter, especially the troubles we're having picking it up. Won't be surprised if an extension is granted. This INEC is a listening institution, unlike one man I know." Catch your shade if that was for you. Moving on to the next tweet at ASUU NG. "Dear INEC Nigeria, the union wishes to make an appeal on behalf of the students of Nigerian universities that they be given an extension to enable them collect their PVCs upon presentation of valid student identity card. ASUU anticipates your kind consideration. Thanks." And we have one more. At D. Samson Itodo tweeted, "Dear INEC Nigeria, please consider extending the deadline for the collection of permanent voter card to 12th or 13th February. Voters are experiencing challenges collecting their PVCs. Some PVCs are reported missing or yet to be produced." And finally, guys, INEC listened. Now, breaking news from INEC Nigeria: the collection of PVCs scheduled to end today, Friday, 8th February 2019, is hereby extended nationwide to Monday, 11th February 2019. This will include Saturday and Sunday. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. Okay, people, go out and get your PVCs because INEC has listened. All right, now we move to the next tweet, the next story that actually took a lot of people by surprise. Now, this is the hashtag Justice for Rape in Nigeria. This was really, really big. It is still, because a lot of people are still speaking out about this. So the story, first of all, came about when two Lekki big boys, 28-year-old Razak Oluwaseun and 25-year-old Don Chima George, were arrested for raping an unnamed 23-year-old girl. Apparently, they took her out to a club and they spiked her drink. And when they saw that, the drink, or she was becoming tired and dizzy, they took her to the hotel room where they had turns on her and they made a video. Now, first thing that caught our attention to this was when there was a story that these boys had been released. Now, if you see on Instablog, we got this story from Instablog Niger. There was a tweet from DSVRT. "Our attention has been drawn to the rumor that the perpetrators of rape of a 23-year-old lady have been released. This is to inform the general public that the suspects are still in custody. The DPP will ensure diligent prosecution of the case." While some people are still arguing with this news and saying this is not the case, that there's one of the suspects has actually been using his official Twitter account to tweet, a lot of Nigerians and finally showing solidarity when it comes to the case rape. Look at some tweets. Now, at MC_Lolalistic tweeted, "Since the story is out, I can finally release this footage. At Fisayo, these are the pigs that raped our sister, and this was the confrontations with her brother at the Lancaster Hotel." And she goes on to give the address. Let's take a look at this video of, them confronting the boys.
Wait, listen, bro. If she was your sister, would you ever allow that kind of shit? If she was your girlfriend, would you allow that kind of shit? Yes or no? Why the fuck did you do it? You had sex with her. You let him have sex with her. Two of you on an intoxicated lady. Helpless. Helpless. Yes or no? Helpless. He fucking did that to her. Hey, go back there.
We apologize for that word. We will not repeat it again. Now, we see another tweet from Mayo Skosko. "Don Chima and Rico Razak must not go scot-free. Hashtag Justice for Rape in Nigeria." Move on to another tweet by Banji Okunola. "I'm happy to see this day where rape victims are not blamed for what they are wearing and why they went to where they were raped. Let's stand as one community to end this. And please, just like this, let's vote the right person into power. Moving on to another comment. At Jessica Samuel replying, Izilman, stop blaming your lack of self-control on women. How a woman dresses shouldn't be a reason for rape at all. Stop justifying rape. Rape is bad and shouldn't be put into consideration on any occasion. Stop blaming the victims. Moving on. Rape at Colade tweeted, rape actually goes beyond just being a topic. It is a living nightmare for thousands. And then we see a picture, short skirt isn't concert. I totally agree with this note. And we also have Fife Ayo. As much as I do think about it, I see no reason why you should put someone's child into emotional torture and disorder because of 5 minutes enjoyment. What she wear is not consent. Don't be the reason a lady will hate men for the rest of her life. Now, of course, we definitely appreciate the fact that Nigerians are showing solidarity, and a lot of celebrities and people have just been speaking up about the issue. Now, we will keep you in the know as the story continues to unfold. We move on to the next story that trended this week on the social media scene. Now, like I said, there were so many things. I'm talking about the Nigerian woman that was called out in Toronto after she was caught begging. Now, a lot of people are saying it was a racist attack, but some others are saying, why go and beg in the streets of Canada when you can actually come back home to Nigeria? That and so many more. But guys, it is time to bring in our guests now. Of course, last week we talked about the justice for Free Deji Adeyanju. Now we have someone that's going to be joining me right now in the studio to discuss further on this. I believe it is now 56 days since he's been locked up behind bars without bail and without any court hearing. We'll be right back. All right, glad to be back. Now joining me on set is Mr. Ario. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you very much.
Great. So like I said, we brought about the Free Deji Adeyanju just last week. And if I may ask, what is the recent development?
Well, thank you very much. That was a very good attempt at securing his bail. That was on the 30th of January. But again, the government ambushed it, conspired with their lawyers. In the court on that very day, the lady justice was ready to grant Deji bail, but they came with another spurious allegations that fresh charges have been filed against him in another high court. And the Milord said, look, it will amount to judicial recklessness for her to grant Deji bail, while the fresh charges have been filed in another court, and they brought a document that the matter has been assigned. And we found it very, very appalling that this government is using its sledgehammer on our citizens. And we want to also make it very clear to them that we saw a video that I think was analyzed on AIT when Vice President Osibajo was received by his own mother. We saw a situation when the president himself received his own son who came from Germany after treatment. Now you have kept somebody's son in prison for doing nothing other than speaking truth to power. And we want them to just know that tyranny has no place in democracy. They can decide to use their power to do this to Deji Adeyanju, but we want them to know that when they were in opposition, including the president, the vice president, and all their foot soldiers, including Keyamo, Esihen, Festus, they all said all manner of things against the last administration. But because it was democracy and it's an open place for people to speak, even though we know responsibly one way or the other. But these people went beyond red, pink line, whatever any line you can talk about, the baboons and the dogs. Now we just had body bags. So it's their trait. And now that's the kind of people who are putting Deji behind. But it's so unthoughtful. They contrive an allegation in a matter in which he had been discharged and acquitted more than 10 years ago. In 29, he was discharged and acquitted. Now they are trying to review this matter. And we also found appalling because we also want the NBA to also come into this matter. For somebody like Festus Keyamo, as a spokesperson of this government, who knew about everything about Deji, who was a counsel in this matter. Festus Keyamo today is speaking for this government. Festus Keyamo had the effrontery to call Abubo Galadima, who said that his daughter is currently serving the administration. Why is Buba Galadima attacking President Buhari. The same Festus Keyamo was a counsel in the matter in which Deji was discharged and acquitted. Why is he siding with tyrants? Why is he siding with our oppressors? Why is he siding with a dictator against Deji Adeyanju? One thing we want these people to know is this: there will be a tomorrow. It's a passing phase. Power is transient. They will be out in a matter of days if God will let it. What we are saying is this: they will all pay for this impunity that they are foisting upon our nation. And one thing is that they will be out to be free, and it's going to be at their own detriment, because one thing is this: when freedom comes, the oppressor will be put to shame. Okay, I want to ask a question. This week, we did see a protest at the U.S. Embassy. Can you tell us what that has led to? Yeah, so far? What we did is that, having exhausted the internal mechanisms, because one thing we do, we are law-abiding people, we like to follow process. What we did is that we've written letters to our concern, we've approached the government, we approached Festus Keyamo. We did all manner of things, including the Human Rights Commission, including Amnesty International. So we did everything that responsible citizens should do within the confines of their own country. But because we didn't get justice, we now have to appeal to the international community that, look, this is happening. And one of the reasons why they are keeping Deji is because of this coming election, there's him as somebody who speaks truth to power and somebody who is a critic of government. So we believe that the international community would definitely also, one way or the other, at least take into account what this government is doing to its own citizen, unjustly, illegally keeping the Adeyanju, behind bars. So we believe that by writing them, at least they will take a kind of international note of what is going on in Nigeria about our own brothers. And we know that by the time he's also out, they themselves probably will also be able to listen to him more. So it's good for us to externalize it and also to call on international activists, local activists, for us to work together to ensure that there is freedom. Because it's the Adeyanju now, you don't know who is next. So that is why we are doing all what we are doing. And we believe that one thing is this: justice will come, freedom will come. And like I said, the oppressor will be put to shame. Thank you very much, Ms. Aria, for coming on the show. Of course, the conversation still continues. You can join this peaceful movement with the hashtag #FreeDeji Adeyanju. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you. Well, guys, that is the much we can take on the social media trends for this week. But do stick around, because the political segment will be up next soon. Bye-bye.